Well, Senator Ailyu Sabi-Abdullahi joins us this morning. He's the chairman, Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs. Thank you for coming on this morning.
My pleasure.
Well, it's 1 year ever since the 8th Assembly came into being, and yes, they spoke about what they intended to do and achieve this year, but we'll come to that. Let's start off with this debate. Several reports. We're seeing some parts of how the debate went, not exactly the way many, maybe most or some expected it to turn out. Why did it suffer that much setback?
Well, thank you, Chamberlain, and let me say that it's my pleasure to be here. Yesterday, of course, that debate took place in my absence. I had to leave the chamber at about 1 to enable me take my flight for this particular program today. But having listened to the few, issues raised, to my mind, let's look at it from the principle of democracy. It's okay for anybody to talk about objection to an issue. But what played out yesterday, I think, was the debate on the general principle of the establishment of that university. And at all instances where we have a bill coming for second reading, these are the kind of things you hear. And at the end of the day, of course, it's put to vote, and whatever happens, it's committed to the committee level so that you go to public hearing to ensure that there is input from all, interested stakeholders. I don't know what the outcome is, whether it was actually thrown out or it was allowed to pass so that it goes to the committee level. That was not clear here. So, but if it was thrown out, that does not mean the end of the road for it. Because in legislative practice, what happens is you bring an issue, and where there are concerns raised and the bill does not go through, what it behoves on whoever is sponsoring the bill is to go back and try to look at some of the concerns raised and see how to walk back to win more support. And I think that's the beauty of democracy, because it's about negotiation. For me, it's all about negotiation because there are interests. So I don't think, even if it was thrown out, I don't think it's entirely bad or negative. It's just saying that there are concerns raised. And of course, sometimes the two issues raised may be right. The reasons given for having such a university is unassailable. It's not something you can throw away, because if you want to develop local content, one of the best area to start, given the nature of maritime industry is typically knowledge intensive. So if you really want to have local content, then it means you must have a place where you are training. Now the question to ask here, like the other person asked, which is the point of the debate here, is you have the Maritime Academy already. So if you want to have a university, is it appropriate you upgrade that to university status, or you go and start afresh somewhere? I think this is where the whole issue comes about. Mm-hmm. And like I said, since I wasn't there, I can't, I'm not able to see or gauge what exactly was the issue.
But there'll be those who will be of the impression that, look, this has got to do with education. Yeah. And then, you can't have too much education. You can have, because the more educated, the more education is available to the country, the better. So many would have thought, they look at certain things from that perspective. Even if they have one and they wanted to get this other one, they would have thought, okay, let's look at it from some other perspective. Can they afford it? Can they run it? Can they sustain it? They would have thought that should have been the crux of the argument, and not, you have one there, why do you want to have another?
No. I think, Chamberlain, let's look at it this way. Yes, no education is too much. But let's ask ourselves some hard facts. If you look at the educational system in this country, I will tell you, because I'm coming from a research background, what I have seen happening is that we have so many universities now being created, and the existing universities remain the source of the human resource, that is the faculty. And in the process, you weaken the existing ones, because senior lecturer in a particular university is now being enticed to be given professorship, in the new universities, when he is not fully mature, because maybe he has just made the minimum requirement, they're just moving away. So that itself is also, what do they call it, weakening the quality of education we are having. Because to me, the argument will now be between quality and quantity. If you have quantity that does not have quality, what are you doing? So, but then I think in this particular context, I could see whichever way you look at it, there is some element of sensitivity in it. And of course, to those who really thought that whether it's you have to swim or whatever, what they are saying is that we need it in that place. Okay? So if that is the argument, I think it is for those who are sponsoring the bill to go back to the drawing board as always. Because the beauty of democracy, let's not forget, is that there must be cooperation. And the cooperation must be absolute and total. And if you want to get cooperation, what it means is you must engage people, discuss and dialogue. And when you do that and you are able to understand the concerns being raised, then I think you have the majority lining behind the particular subject matter.
But don't they submit maybe a feasibility study or the bill or debate or their points of argument to members of the Senate before the debate?
Yeah, you see, the issue is that sometimes because of the nature of the work, so many things being done at the same time, the promoter of the bill will give, you know, the, what do they call it, the paper for the lead debate in chamber that same day. Some other people will, on their own, because and that is where the cost of some of these things come in. On their own, they will try to make sure that the lead debate and even the bill is available to members, and they will write to all members. You see, that's why I said it's all about the approach, negotiation, because if I want to do something and I don't surprise you, I rather engage you much, much earlier to allow you reflect and even consult. I tend to get better response from you. Even if it's a negative response, you will have been adding value by virtue of the reasons you will be adducing for your concerns. And that will enrich my understanding of the subject matter. And overall, I will be able to go back, even before I bring it to the chamber, I'll be able to look at the concerns, adjust it, and by the time I come in and have everybody lining up on the subject matter. So I think that is the way it works. And to me, honestly, that is the beauty of democracy.